Okay, so good morning everyone. I'm Juvie Castañeda. I will be the moderator for the Q&A session. So to start, can we have the first question, Nikki? Okay, so the first question is from Sir Vicente Camilon Jr. Good morning. How does the DOST protect our science and technology infrastructures from present and future risks and threats? Uh, I think this question can be answered by Ms. Jeng Tetangco.
Good morning. To answer Representative Camilon Jr.'s question, sir, I have the following answer. So first, that's why we have replica sites po. So as I've mentioned in my presentation, we have 3 sites. So one in ASTI, one in DICT, and one at a commercial data center in Makati. So that's the purpose of replica sites. So in case one site um, goes down, may fail over for the other sites. At the same time, we are also going to set up a disaster recovery site in Subic. And this data center is owned and managed by the ICT. So as we have been informed by the ICT po, by first quarter of 2022, the data center will be operational. And they've communicated with us and asked us how many racks we need. So that disaster recovery site is really intended as a disaster recovery site at the same time an active site po. So as we all know, di ba po, meron yung ina-expect or ina-anticipate na big one. So knock on wood, but if ever that happens, yung disaster recovery site yung magiging active or fail over po doon sa resources ng ASTI. And then at the same time po, we also need to invest in mga technical solutions, and part of this is yung pag-upgrade po ng facilities and servers that we have to be able to continue yung optimizing the resources that we have at ASTI. And then fourth, we need to also invest in our people, as what Director Franz emphasized in his presentation, because maintaining a research and education network and HPC facility is a specialized skill. So we really need to take care of the people that we have who are managing the science and technology infrastructures. So I hope that answers po yung question niyo po.
Thank you very much, Jeng. Director Franz, would you like to add?
Yeah, siguro po hindi lang naman po hardware yung kailangan natin i-protect against future risks and threats. Nabanggit na rin naman ni Ms. Jeng, of course, our human capital, our human resources. Kasi kahit nandiyan naman yung hardware, kung wala naman po yung tao na magpapatakbo po nito, mahihirapan din po tayo. So for that, we make sure that we continuously engage in capacity building and skill sharing. Also, within ASTI, di ba, we are proud that we have our knowledge management system para yung institutional memory and know-how nakadocument po ng maayos para pag may kailangang malaman or hugutin, even in the future, naka-archive po sila. So moving, of course, being more proactive, of course, with proper planning and sharing best practices, we ensure that kung ano yung pinaka-critical sa atin, we will make sure na protektado sila against future threats. Thank you, Ma'am Juby.
Thank you, Director Franz. For the next question, it is from Ma'am Maria Lourdes Mendoza. Good morning. How can DOST help Philippine Statistics Authority and LGUs in the community-based monitoring system, which is expected to generate a credible and timely database about the poor. Keith, can you answer this question?
Yes po. Hello po, Ma'am Maria Lourdes Mendoza. I'm not that familiar with the CBMS, but if, sorry, narinig niyo po ba ako?
Yes, Keith.
Pasensya na po if medyo maingay kasi may nagkakarpintero po malapit sa amin. With regards to the CBMS, if it will have to generate a mega database, you will need data, and if it includes geotagging dun sa usual na data gathering po ng mga tao from PSA, our team would be able to help kung data gathering po yung main goal of the program. Our AI-based maps na develop po namin has a geotagging or geolocation functionality, and ang pwede pong sigurong magawa off the top of my head is as PSA is conducting their surveys for the CBMS, pwede po sigurong mag-include ng geotagging locations doon sa kanilang equipment, and then we can associate those geotagging locations with our satellite images dito po sa ASTI to further improve po yung geolocation and geographical tagging noong mga information na magagather po natin on ground. So yun po, I guess with close coordination po with PSA, we can improve those workflows and functionalities. Pero rest assured po na with the spatial capability of ASTI, malaking may tulong po nito sa geotagging purposes po ng CBMS po ng PSA. Yun po. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Keith. For the next question, it's again from Sir Vicente Camilon Jr. Are other agencies able to fully access and maximize the data, information, knowledge, and other resources of DOST to carry out their mandate, especially DSWD, NAPSI, PSA, DILG? So I think this question is directed to our director, Dr. Franz.
Hi. Yes po, of course, that's the major part of ASTI's mandate. So as an ICT institution, so trabaho po namin to collect information, store, possibly process, and of course, share those information. So malaking part po ng activities namin is to share the knowledge and the information that we have. So kung institutional po ang access, tulad po ng mga nabanggit na institutions, of course, simple lang po siya, simple MOA, to establish the partnership and agreement on what data to be shared, as well as, of course, observing the pertinent laws on confidentiality and privacy. Now, hindi lang naman po limitado sa government agencies yung pag-share po natin ng data. In fact, many projects po sa atin, they are open to sharing data as well. So they have their own portals. Yung iba po napakita po kanina, like sa siyasat po. So many of our projects have their own portal where the public can share. And even with the EFOI website wherein the public can lodge their request for information, marami pong request na napapadaan po through ASTI requesting on certain information. And depending on the nature, usually napagbibigyan naman po yung information requested. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Doc Franz. Nikki, can we have the next question, please? Okay. So the next question is from Sir Donald Amado Caballero. As far as contract tracing is concerned, what are the initiatives of DOST-ASTI contributed to help LGU and national governments such as DOH for the Stay Safe policy? Keith, can you answer this question?
Insofar as contact tracing po siguro is concerned, insofar as contact tracing po is concerned siguro, we have not done an exact contact tracing application, pero we have made a prototype na pwede po siyang magamit for contact tracing. If you'll allow mo siguro to share the screen, baka pwede ko pong i-share yung isang prototype namin. Can I share the screen po? Kita niyo po yung screen ko ngayon?
Yes, Keith.
Ayan. So ito pong dinevelop namin na prototype is for CCTV detection po no social distancing violations. So in terms of contact tracing, this can be used kasi pwede pong matag yung mga personnel that violates social distancing violations. And it can also be used for geotagging yung locations ng mga personnel. So for contact tracing purposes, we can actually derive from this application, the CCTV application, a network of quote-unquote violators of the social distancing violations. And if may isa po sa kanila siguro na natag as positive or in monitoring, then we can associate that network with the other personnel po na natag doon dun sa CCTV app. Yun po yung I think pinakamalapit na na application na nagawa namin. I think other teams in ASTI has also developed an application for LGU purposes, operation center monitoring system for LGUs. I'm not that familiar with the application, pero it says here in their report that it is to develop a system for LGUs that can illustrate the interaction between confirmed patients, PUIs, and PUMs up to the barangay level. And for its wave 2, the system can provide a prescriptive information on areas most frequent by confirmed patients. PUIs and PUMs, though, through location history that can be helpful in decision making for localized barangay level lockdowns. So this was developed last year, 2020, during the kasagsagan po ng COVID pandemic. So yun, if there are, kung sa fellow speakers po natin, if you have other efforts for the contact tracing purposes ng COVID pandemic, you can really butt in po.
Okay, thank you, Keith.
Ma'am Juvie, can
Yes,
I just add?
Yes.
So I think yung the last one mentioned by Kit was the collaboration with SGV. It's a COVID-19 Operations Center Monitoring Dashboard and Data Platform. Tama ba, Kit? So that's actually intended for LGU monitoring of cases, and the pilot implementation of that was in Davao City. And then the Cebu LGU also is already adopting that. And then aside from that, as I've mentioned, although hindi ko po kasi na detalye, so I apologize. Dun sa mga COVID initiatives that we support, one of that is it's a collaboration between the UP Diliman Engineering Department and DOTR. It's the Safe Travel PH. Now this Safe Travel PH is hold on, just checking. Ayun. It's for real-time fleet monitoring and evaluation of public transport services, but it can also be used as a contact tracing app, or a module can be added to that para mag-contribute siya or mag-act siya, mag-function siya as a contact tracing app. So that's another contact tracing app that we are supporting po. And aside from that, this is not a contact tracing app, but we are also working with DOH dun po sa FASTER project. So we're also providing resources to them for that. At the same time, may DOST Regional 6 na initiative, yung SPAS, which is the Safe, Swift, and Smart Passage. So this is a web-based travel and mobility management system that has already been adopted by IATF and DILG for nationwide deployment and implementation. So in the last meeting with ARTA, ang nasabi lang po ng DOST RO6 when this was raised is yes, they can add a functionality to that to serve as a contact tracing app as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeng. Next question is from, again, Sir Vicente Camilan Jr. And this is for Ruth Copino. How does Gulai help poor farmers?
Hello po, good morning. Sorry po, medyo maingay lang sa background ko. To answer po the question from House Representative Vicente Camilan Jr. po, how does Gulai help poor farmers? May I go back to the significance po of the project, where the project aims to address the disinterest of youth in agriculture by providing innovative solutions and applications of ICT to agriculture and developing an experiment platform for students, researchers in the field of crop science and plant breeding, which are the target beneficiaries po of the Gulai project, wherein they can conduct experiments and research work regarding the data on the plant growth that will be generated sa Gulai system po. The output of their work will later on be of help sa local farmers natin once the data has been processed and analyzed by our researchers.
Okay, thank you, Ruth. Next question is from Ma'am Maria Rita Macabulos. It's on AI. Can AI be able to monitor the change of topography of localities and identify new flood-prone areas? I think Keith can answer this question and also Jeanette later on. Keith first.
Hello po, good morning Ma'am Rita. The question is actually, may two areas po for that question. The first one is the change of topography of localities and the second one is the new flood-prone areas. In terms po dun sa new flood-prone areas, sorry po, pasensya na medyo maingay. Pero yung new flood-prone areas po, we can actually identify new flood-prone areas by actually analyzing the historical data po ng mga pre-produce po namin na mga flood maps dun sa particular area. So if we're going to analyze the historical presence po ng flooding dun sa area, pwede po tayong maka-identify ng mga hotspots na pwede po natin sigurong i-monitor every time na magkakaroon po tayo ng extreme weather event doon sa area. So yun, we can explore the historical data of the flood maps doon sa locality po ng area ninyo to identify yung mga hotspots ng flood-prone areas. In terms of the change in topography, monitoring the change in topography using artificial intelligence, theoretically and technically it can be. Pero as with any AI endeavor, we would need a lot of historical data to train the model for detecting or monitoring the change of topography. And data is actually a tricky thing kasi it's actually a very tricky thing kasi doon sa yung data na nasa locality nyo, baka hindi extensive enough or hindi extensive enough yung data historically to be able to produce a good model for detecting the changes in topography. We can do away with derivative data for this application. Pero in terms of remote sensing data, baka po kulang yung data nandun po sa locality. In modeling po yung change of topography in this area. So to answer the question, yes, it is possible technically, but we would have to explore po yung inventory po natin ng data doon sa lugar kung kaya po makapaggawa ng matinong model for that. So I hope that answers your question po.
Would you like to add, Jeanette? Thank you, Keith.
Parang nasagot na ni Keith. To add lang, siguro mas magiging maganda yung results po ng artificial intelligence if gamitin din po yung mga satellite images po nakuha ng Pedro. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Jeanette. Next question, please. Meron po bang training manual for this? This is from Mr. Ralph Paladan. I think he's referring to our weather stations. Jeanette, please
Hello,
answer.
good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Sir, yes, we do have training manual po for the MASID, but it is usually provided only to licensees po at saka project partners po. This is as per indicated po sa technical license agreement natin. Ayan lang po.
Thank you, Jeanette. Next. So again, it's from Ma'am Rita Macabulos. Are images forwarded to PUHA subject to copyright even if such are for contribution purposes? Rox, can you please answer the question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am Rita, yes po. As soon as the image is snapped or saved or shared through the PUHA application, a legal protection is automatically given to the creator. When you say image copyright, it is image ownership. So the data subject has full ownership of the content they share, and the DOST-ASTI does not claim ownership of the content. We will include this section in our terms and conditions that by using PUHA, they are just assigning the photos and other data for ASTI's research and development purposes only. So I hope I answered the question.
Thank you, Rox. Next.
Ma'am Jugi, I think that's all of the questions.
So that ends?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
Thank you everyone for your active participation. Back to you, Nicole.
Yes, thank you, Ma'am Juvi. Okay, so that ends our question and answer portion. So we would like to thank everyone for their questions, and we apologize that we were not able to accommodate all of them because of our time restriction. But you can send your questions to info@asti.dost.ph, and we will make sure to answer them the best way that we can. So that has been it for our question and answer portion. We would like to thank our guests for your questions and your active participation throughout the program. So now flashed on your screen is the email that you can reach out to for any additional questions or inquiries that you may have.